Hello, scholars. This is for Lesson 13, Writing Division Expressions. This is day 1 of a 2-day lesson, so we'll start today, Wednesday, April 15th, and the second part of it we will do tomorrow, Thursday, April 16th. Okay, so Lesson 13 is Writing Division Expressions, and we're going to write numerical expressions in two forms, dividend divided by divisor, and then dividend over divisor, which would be also known as fraction forms. So just so you're aware, fraction form. Okay. All right. So the first expression we're going to look at is how can we write 8 divided by 2? So we can draw a model, we can write an array, we can use a division symbol, and you may even want to use a fraction. So if we were to write 8 divided by 2, we can first show it using the division symbol. That would be the most common way. We can also use it, we could have a model, and this whole thing is 8, and we want to divide it into 2. Or we could use a fraction, which if we did 8 divided by 2, 8 is your dividend, so the dividend goes on top, and your divisor goes on the bottom. So 8 is your numerator, 2 is your denominator. So just to explore this a little bit further, if we take our fraction form of 8 over 2, if we were to write it like this, 2 over 8, is that the same as what we have 8 over 2? Are they the same? No, they're not equal. 2 over 8 equals 1/4 when you simplify it, and 8 over 2 equals 4, as does this model. We have 2 sections of 4, and this also equals 4. Okay, so example 1, we're going to write an expression showing 1 divided by 2 without the use of the division symbol. How can we do that? What form could we write that statement in? Okay, so we can do that by writing it as a model. So here we have this whole entire thing here is equal to 1, and we want to divide it by 2. So we're going to divide it in half. There's one part of it, and there's the other part of it. What can we determine from the model? That 1 divided by 2, there's 1 divided by 2, is the same as 1 over 2, the dividend over the divisor. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at the second example. We're going to write an expression showing a divided by 2 without the use of a division symbol. It sounds very similar to what we just did, except in this example, one of the numbers is actually a variable, and we are using the letter A for that, and the second one is a number. Okay, so if we were to draw the same model we just did, we can draw one whole part, and the whole part is going to equal your dividend, which I just circled, which is A. So this whole part right here is equal to a, and we want to divide by 2. Okay, this is our divisor. We're dividing by 2. So from the model, just like with our last one, we can determine that a divided by 2 is the same as what? What would it look like if we put this in fraction form? It would be a over 2. Okay, we're going to move on to example 3. In example 3, we're doing the same thing again, only this time we are using variables for our dividend and divisor. So it says write an expression showing a divided by b without the use of the division symbol. Alright, so the dividend is going to be the numerator and the divisor is going to be the denominator. So the dividend, I'm going to write this down, dividend is the numerator, which is the top number, and the divisor is the denominator or the bottom number. So for this example, since our dividend is the first number in the expression, we are going to place a on top divided by our divisor, which is b. So we can write an expression as a fraction using a over b, or you would read it a divided by b. Okay. Taking that one step further, how would you write an expression for g, the letter g, divided by the quantity of h plus 3? Okay, so we have g and we have h plus 3. And we want to write this as a division. Okay, so if we use just the division symbol, we're going to put the h plus 3 in parentheses, and you will just have g divided by h plus 3. If you want to rewrite it using a fraction, here is your dividend, and here is your divisor. Okay, so you're going to write the dividend on top. So since I circled that in orange, I'm going to write that in orange. Here you go. Here's your dividend. And your divisor is going to be what I circled in red. And your whole divisor is going to be h plus 3, because you have to keep the whole thing together. Okay? We can do a second example. We can do, let me clear this out of the way. We are going to change our variables and numbers, okay, to, let me write them in purple here. We're going to use m minus 3 divided by 5. So if I wanted to circle my dividend in blue, which part would I be circling? Would I be circling m minus 3 or 5? So our dividend is m minus 3, and I'm going to write that first, m minus 3, and then 5 then would be our divisor, or what you are dividing by. Okay, We have gone through each type of example. The exercises are under assignments for lesson 13. It should be a Google Doc. You can type your answer and submit that back to me. There's going to be 5 problems. I will write them out with words, and you will use the division symbol, and you will also use a fraction. So one example that you're not going to see, one of the questions that I have is the quotient of the quantity k minus 10 and m. Okay, so the quotient of the quantity k minus 10 and m. That's the 2 parts that are given to us. So the quotient is going to be the answer of the division problem. The first part that you are given is the dividend. So k minus 10 would be your dividend, and your divisor would be m. If you have any questions on this, please reach out to me. Either email, leave a message on the board. Any way that you can, come on to the office hour classroom from 11:30 to 2, where all the teachers are available. And if need be, we can do a private Zoom room later in the day. Good luck.